Hi there, Vanessa, the Salty Knitter, and today I want to learn how to do this English rib. English rib has a couple of other names. It's also called half fisherman's rib and shaker knit. And the reason why I want to learn this stitch is because back in the 80s when I was a teenager, so the last century, shaker knit was pretty popular and everyone had a shaker knit sweater. I had one. It was a very pretty soft yellow. So before I get started, it would really help me out if you could subscribe to my channel or like this video or leave a comment at the end. Okay, so to begin with, the settings, and I'm going to go detailed because why not? If you don't need detailed, you can always skip ahead. In the pattern instructions here, the first 6 rows, this is section 1, this is your cast on, okay? And I have already established in my last 2 videos that the E-wrap cast on is a far superior cast on. So we're just going to ignore all this. We're not doing it. That's just not happening. Okay, now let's go over to my carriage. And I apologize for the jiggling. I just want to make sure you've got a good view of it. Okay, so when we look at the instructions, we can see that once we've cast on, which I've already done, and I've already knit my first row. So what we want to do is our main carriage, we want to have this lever here is going to stay on a circle, but the side lever on this side, we're going to set to the triangle. And the reason we do that is because we're also going to set the cam lever to some of my markings have disappeared. I think I need to go to this position here for tuck. 1 second, I'm going to pause and double check that. Okay, so yes, on this machine, the Singer 700, this lever position is for tuck. And with the side levers set the way they are, that means it's only going to tuck in one direction, not both, which is what we want for fisherman's rib, aka English rib, aka half fisherman's rib, aka shaker knit. Okay, that part is done. And in the settings you can also see that we have our pitch set to P and we're racked to position 5. Can we see a little better? Yes. And on our river carriage, these are our settings. So 1, I have a different tension because my yarn it's too thick for stitch size 4. It needs to be slightly bigger, especially for English rib shaker knit, because it's kind of the nice thing about shaker knit is it has a very nice drape to it. So it's not a stiff fabric to wear. It's a very comfortable fabric to wear. Okay, so that is all of my settings. So let's do this and see how it looks. Now, I'm just doing a swatch. So I've gone from 20 left to 20 right. Actually, I've gone from 21 left to 20 right, and roughly the same on the bottom, but allowing for my 2 end stitches to be on the main bed, not the river bed. And I hear the tail thumping, which makes me think that my youngest has just woke up. And my dog is all excited because she loves him. Okay, let's give this a whirl. Okay, so I believe that knit both sides. Maybe. Just going to this stitch. Oh, no, it's supposed to not be knit properly. So yeah, so if you look, this stitch did not knit, it tucked. See, it just laid the yarn in the hook. It has not knit it. Okay, and that's a tuck. And then the river, the stitch knit. So let's go back in the other direction. And so you can see that was the stitch that did not knit, and then we've knit in behind that. So this one looks like it didn't, maybe didn't knit off properly. Or maybe that one didn't. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go a little further. Not too sure if that is doing what it's supposed to here. It doesn't look like it is. Maybe I need a little more weight. I only have my small weights on because I figured being a small sample size that would be best. But maybe this is a stitch that needs more weight, more tension on it. So let's see what happens now. I can definitely feel that there's more weight on it. My dog is going to sing. She's all happy because her boy is awake. Okay, let's cut the cord and see what we've got. I'm going to hold it so it doesn't fall on the floor. Oh, I wonder if I should have done... Oh, I probably should have knit the next row before I shoot. Can I still do it? Maybe. I don't think I should be casting off or knitting off on a tuck row. I think I should be knitting off on a knit row. And, well, we'll see what happens. So you can see where I had a little trouble there at the beginning because I didn't have really enough weight. Okay, so there's a half fisherman's rib, English knit, or shaker knit. And this is exactly the fabric I remember from the 80s. And a navy blue sweater that I had from age 19 to age 30 or 40 something that I love to wear. So this is the back side, or maybe it's the knit side. I think you could pick whichever side you want, and then the other side. And it's flat, it doesn't pull in. So if you wanted a flat knit, that's like a flat rib knit, I guess I should specify, then I guess you would use this rib. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to pause, I'm going to cast on again. And then we can try this Swung English rib. And it's not in the book, but we can also try a full fisherman's rib instead of a half fisherman's rib. Okay? Okay, I've cast on the same needle arrangement, and I have done the carriage settings as we did for regular English rib. So we have the main carriage set to tuck or just lay the yarn in the needles when it's going from left to right. The ribber carriage knits in both directions, but the main carriage will only knit when it's going from right to left. Okay, so that was in this. So now I want to try this Swung English rib. Okay, and it's the exact same needle arrangement, pretty much the same machine settings. The only variation is in your when you choose your ribber position. So it stays on pitch, not half pitch, pitch for the alternating. And then we're going to change the swing. We do 2 rows at the with the swing set to 5, and then we do 2 rows with the swing set to 7, and we alternate those. And let's see how that looks. Let's see if I can do it without messing it up. Okay, so I have my swing is set to 5, so we're going to do 2 rows. And I started with the heavier weights right off the bat this time. And then we go to 7. So we move over 2 full positions on the riverbed. Interesting. I wonder if I should have had one more needle knit cast on in the bottom bed. Anyways, so we knit, and then we tuck, and then go back to 5, knit, and tuck, back to 7, knit, You can kind of see how this end stitch looks a little messy, and I think that's because I should have had another needle cast on the ribber so that it was more alternating. Okay, so I'm going to cut the cord here, and notice this time I did it after doing a knit row, not after doing a tuck row. Okay, I'm gonna hold the cast on comb with the weights so it doesn't fall on the floor. And oh, that's kind of pretty. Hold on, wait for it. Okay, so that's what the side that faces the river looks like. And then this is the side that faces away from the river. So the knit side and the purl side, even though there's not technically a purl side in machine knitting. But yeah, I really kind of like that. That's quite nice. And look at how it doesn't, there's no roll on the sides. The sides aren't rolling in. The bottom, maybe just a touch, but you know, you could do a scarf with that just fine and not have it all roll in together. Okay. Now, yeah, I think we can do a full fisherman rib next. Okay, so now what I want to do is because English rib is also referred to as half fisherman's rib, I want to do a full fisherman's rib. And the settings are almost exactly the same as they are for English rib, or at least the knit carriage stays the same. So you have your triangle, you've set your side lever to the triangle. The one difference is that on the ribber, we're going to set this lever to that upside down U. Now, in one of my videos, like an asshole, I said I thought it was for U-shaped knitting instead of looking up what it actually is. And basically, it's going to set the ribber to tuck instead of knit. Now, because I have the right side lever set to tuck, I need to set this lever on my ribber to 0. So if I have it right, it's always whichever side of the knit carriage you have set to the triangle, you set that side to 0 on the ribber like you would for circular knitting. Okay, and remember that that's not for U-shaped knitting. That U means tuck. I have the same needle arrangement as all the other times. I've already done my E-wrap cast on and knit my first row. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. I wonder if the lever should actually be the other way. Oh, well, I didn't actually change the setting on the carriage. Okay, so let's try this again now that I've changed that lever to the tuck stitch. So, is it tucking or is it knitting? No, it's tucking. So you can see on the main bed, it's just laying the yarn in the hook. It's not actually knitting it. Okay, and on this side it should do the same on the ribber. So now the main bed, it's knit that, and if we look at the ribber, you can see it just lays the yarn in the hook. It doesn't actually knit it through. So that's kind of cool. Here, so I can knit it off and we can take a look. Okay, I am going to change both carriages to just knit for a row before I knit off. Yeah, maybe I'll do 2. Okay. So let's cut the cord. Okay, so this is our full fisherman's rib. So if we compare this one was our English rib or half fisherman's rib. This was our Swung English rib, and this is our full fisherman's rib. So it has more stretch than this one. Like but it's still a very light drapey fabric. So yeah. So there we go. 3 different things that you can do with your ribber, and let's just Okay. So till next time.